Welcome back to another episode of the Hyperlocal Weekly Report. I'm your host, Nick Vinicombe, and here's your news for the week. Two men have been charged following a break-in at a retail business in Exeter on September 26th. Huron County OPP responded around 3 a.m. to suspicious activity and discovered a stolen rental truck from London on the property. Inside the truck was a rifle and replica handgun. One suspect fled but was later found with the help of OPP emergency units, including a canine team. A 21-year-old from Acton and a 59-year-old from London face multiple charges, including break-and-enter, possession of stolen property, and weapon-related offenses. Both men were held in custody and will appear in Goderich Court at a later date. The Zurich Playground in Bluewater officially reopened to the public on Wednesday, October 1st. To celebrate, the municipality of Bluewater is hosting a first official play event on October 8th from 12:45 to 1:45 p.m. Residents are encouraged to attend and enjoy the new playground equipment, with officials expressing excitement about families and children using the updated outdoor space. Fitness in the Patch was held on September 27th at Govers Family Farm near Exeter, organized by Jolt Fitness and the Govers family, to support the Exeter Community Food Bank. The event featured a 1.5-kilometer walk/run trail, a beginner-friendly yoga session, a corn maze, and farm animals, with 45 participants donating the equivalent of 10 full grocery bags of food. The donations filled a pumpkin wagon. Jolt Fitness owner Katie Mills expressed interest in making it an annual event. Jolt's next charity event, the Jingle Run, will take place on December 4th in Exeter to support Ronald McDonald House charities. Huron County OPP is reminding the public about Ontario's e-scooter rules amid a ride in usage, including by children under 16. While e-scooters are popular for being affordable and easy to use, many are unaware that most municipalities in Ontario do not permit them on public roads, making them legal only on private property unless local bylaws state otherwise. Police urge residents to check local regulations and emphasize that traffic safety is a shared responsibility. More details can be found at ontario.ca/e-scooters. Former South Huron District High School quarterback Jerry Lamport has been inducted into the London Beef Eaters Hall of Fame as part of the team's 50th season celebrations. A native of Crediton, Lamport played for the Canadian Junior Football League team from 1989 to 1991, and still holds the Beef Eaters' all-time quarterback rating record of 105.5. In his final season, he threw over 1,676 yards and 14 touchdowns. Lamport credited his high school coaches and teammates for his development, recalling the competitive spirit of the late 1980s SHDHS Panther football teams. He now lives in London and teaches at Fanshawe College. The municipality of Bluewater is reminding residents to plan ahead due to a Canada Post strike that will disrupt mail delivery, including bills and municipal correspondence. Residents are still responsible for paying bills on time, and late fees will apply even during the strike. Those who mailed property tax payments should contact the municipal office to confirm receipt. To avoid delays, residents are encouraged to use alternative payment methods and sign up for paperless billing. For help, residents can contact the municipality by phone or email. As of October 1st, Ontario's minimum wage has increased by 40 cents, rising from $17.20 to $17.60 per hour. The provincial government says this change will benefit over 800,000 workers, adding up to $832 annually for full-time minimum wage earners. The increase is tied to inflation through the Ontario Consumer Price Index and is part of the government's broader plan to support workers and strengthen the economy. Since 2021, Ontario has invested $1.5 billion in skills training, with another $1 billion planned over the next 3 years. A 16-year-old was seriously injured and a dog was killed in a single-vehicle crash in central Huron on Tuesday evening, October 1st. The incident occurred around 5 p.m. on Bandon Line when the youth riding a dirt bike collided with a dog that ran onto the road. The teen was transported to a hospital in London with serious injuries, and the dog died at the scene. Huron County OPP investigated the crash, and the road has since reopened. No charges have been laid at this time. The Avon-Maitland District School Board is recognizing the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation by educating students and staff about the history and impacts of residential schools. The board has partnered with the Orange Shirt Society to support this effort. Indigenous education lead Matt Baker emphasized the importance of education and reconciliation and shared hopes that the day will leave a meaningful impact. He also encouraged families to continue these conversations at home and further understanding and awareness. Don't go anywhere just yet. I have some interviews coming up next. Welcome back to another Hyperlocal Weekly Report interview. With me is Vicky and Brittany from the Huron County Economic Development Department. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us. Pleasure to be here.
So to start off with, can you tell me a little bit about what the goal of EcDev is?
Absolutely. So when we talk about EcDev and try to explain it, because it can be a mile wide, with lots of variations. We use a model called the leaky bucket theory of economic development, and it simplifies what we do into three basic actions. So if you think about a bucket, we're trying to increase the number of resources flowing into that bucket. So those resources might be investment. Those resources might be human resources, so workforce. And then when we increase those resources into the bucket, we grow the bucket, which is the economy. And we want to make sure that those resources and that investment circulates around the economy. So you'll find us doing things like shop local programs, buy local, featuring businesses, helping businesses grow and sustain. And then, unfortunately, our bucket has leaks. And so the third action that we take is trying to plug those leaks. So things like youth out migration. It's really important that we have youth because we need them for a vital community, but we also need them for workforce. We need them for their brilliance and their entrepreneurship. So we look at programs that will plug those leaks to help that bucket or our economy stay robust. So at a very high level, that's what we do in economic development.
Can you take me through some specifics of the things that you do to achieve those goals and some of the resources that you provide as well?
Absolutely. So in our department, and each economic department will be slightly differently organized, but in our department, we work with four main lines of business, and we have an economic development board, and that's an advisory board, which is a committee of council. So we have 3 councillors and 8 members of the public. Those members of the public are representative of and have networks throughout our key sectors. So for example, agriculture, tourism, work we do with newcomers. There'll be areas of expertise that sit with those members of the public that sit on our board. So we work with them to look at continually identifying what's necessary and where we can fill gaps. Then our lines of business are tourism. So we manage the Ontario's West Coast brand. We manage local food and agritourism. We have the local immigration partnership under our umbrella. So there we're looking at that community development end of economic development. So encouraging communities to be welcoming and helping newcomers to belong. So again, we get those vital communities and that workforce element and that entrepreneurial element as we're trying to grow our economy. We have a line of business that we call sector support, and that's really dealing with issues that apply to all sectors. So workforce, transportation, housing, skill development. And so that's our third line of business. And then our fourth is the Huron Business Center, which is small business support. And that happens to be Brittany's line of business. So I'm going to let her explain it because she does that better than me.
Yeah, so I'm the manager of the Huron Business Center. And essentially what we are is a one-stop resource for entrepreneurs and business owners in Huron County. We are one of nearly 50 small enterprise centers across the province. And we offer things like one-on-one business coaching with experienced local advisors who can connect entrepreneurs with tailored resources. So if you need help in marketing, we can give you some marketing resources and help you come up with a strategy, for example. We also deliver programs like the Starter Company Class, Summer Company, and Foodpreneur programs, which I know I've spoke with you about before. And those programs all provide training, mentorship, and then in some cases, they do provide funding as well. And then we also deliver business training workshops and events that aim to connect local entrepreneurs together. Sometimes entrepreneurship can be a fairly lonely endeavor, and we want to make sure that they're connected with other peers so that they can share and learn together. So we do help businesses throughout the kind of the life cycle. So whether businesses are looking to start or grow or transfer ownership, we are here to help them do that.
And when we had talked before the interview, you had mentioned the strategic planning project that you have coming up. I wonder if you can give me some details about that.
Yeah, so we have recently launched a strategic planning process with the department. And essentially, what it will aim to do is provide us with a vision for the next 10 years and an action plan for the next five, to really give us some clear results oriented frameworks to roll out our programming for the next five to 10 years. And so to do this work, we have partnered with McSweeney and Associates, which is a firm out of London, with an experienced team of researchers and data analysts and facilitators. And together with our department, they will be working to hold one-on-one meetings with stakeholders. They'll be doing several focus groups in different industries across the county. But then we also would really love public participation in this as well, for both businesses and residents. And so part of one of the main messages we want to get out today for folks is that we want their opinion or their input into this process, and that they can find an online survey to give us that input at huroncounty.ca/EcDev strat plan. And it'll be a series of questions that they can answer, and that will be taken into consideration in the final plan that will hopefully be ready. It's aiming to be ready for the end of the year. So yeah, that is a big process, and we really, really value everybody's input. We want it to be reflective and speak to the needs of the community and where we all want to go.
When we talk about economic development, Nick, we also often talk about that it's a combination of live, work, and play. So obviously the economy is the work part, but to attract people to come and work for our businesses, they need to have a quality of life, and they need to have a place they want to live, and they need to have entertainment and social opportunities as well. So our different lines of business try to help to do that, and also working with our non-municipal partners, we help to coordinate so that you'll see festivals and events and things like that, so that we can really attract people and the businesses they work in, or people to the businesses we have, so they have an excellent quality of life. That's why we engage the general public and not just businesses in the work we do.
And there have obviously been some great events that you've been putting on over the summer. I wonder if you can give me a bit of a preview as to what's to come in the fall for your events and programs?
Yeah, so we have recently launched through the Local Immigration Partnership the I Am Huron campaign. It was launched last night, and folks can see it kind of out in the community soon. And in my line of business, we have a collaborative marketing workshop happening in Blythe on October 21st during Small Business Week. And people can find information about that and how to register. It is free to register, but we do require registration because space is limited. They can find information out about that event on our socials. And then do you want to chat about a few of the others?
Absolutely. So the I Am Huron campaign that Brittany mentioned celebrates the contribution of newcomers to our community. So that will be coming out in a press release, and there'll be information available on our website to see who some of those individuals are and the contributions they've made to our community, which is wonderful. It's the first year for the campaign. On November 2nd, we'll be launching the Abundance Cookbook, and that is a cookbook produced by United Way, but it features a number of our chefs, restaurants, and farmers, pairing chefs and farmers with excellent recipes. And we will have a ticketed event where you can come and taste some of the recipes from that cookbook. We will be celebrating Oktoberfest throughout the month of October. Our role in that will be to promote the different festivals and events and musical acts that are available at our wineries and breweries across the county. So watch our socials for more information about that. And then in October, we'll also be launching our Supporting Local Youth program. We ran it for the first time last year. We gave out grants of up to $1,000 to youth within our community who were doing projects for youth within our community or around passion projects that were important to them. And so this is just a way of acknowledging and supporting youth contributions to the community. So watch for that as well on our socials and through our information that we put out. We're really excited to engage our high school students and see what they can come up with.
And I wonder, can you share some success stories with me, or even just some favorite memories from all the great work that your team does?
Well, I know I shared a few with you from the starter company program. So I maybe will pass it along to Vicky, so you don't have to hear my favorite anecdotal successes. But I know Vicky has some from other lines of business.
So one of the projects that we launched this year that we're just thrilled about is the Huron County Taste Trails. And so we have curated 4 trails, individual trails that highlight different aspects of local food and the producers who produce that local food or who value add to that food network. And in total, the publication, which is both online at ontarioswestcoast.ca and in a print version, there are 78 individual stops that you can make throughout the county. On those 4 curated trails, you can do a winery and brewery cidery trail. You could do tours in the north or the south end of the county, looking at different focus areas. And this harkens back to the sort of farm gate map that we had a number of years ago, but it's a little more sophisticated and a little broader in its scope from that farm gate idea. But we're thrilled to launch that project again this year. The SLED program is one of our favorites. It's supporting local economic development. So we give out grants of up to $10,000 for groups, organizations, and our municipal partners to do very focused economic development work. So we have a broad range of projects that fall under that. You can see a list of them on our website. What we really like about this is encouraging the creativity that people come to. So sometimes it's creating, especially after COVID, we encourage the creation of community spaces to invite people back out into the community and again, enjoy meeting their neighbors and seeing them and talking to them, because that's really important. Again, if you aren't happy where you live, if you don't feel part of community, your life isn't as rich or robust. Right on to very specific targeted economic development projects, so business attraction projects. So SLED funds that gamut across the live, work, and play spectrum. I think what I enjoy most about the work is watching somebody wander in and say, I have this business idea and I just don't know where to go. And seeing them go through the coaching and the encouragement and connecting them to our promotions, maybe they're tourism adjacent, like a really great retail store or shop, and seeing them start out small, it's a side hustle, and then eventually they become this bricks and mortar phenomena that's attracting people. And I love to see that progression in business support.
I second that.
Yeah, there have definitely been a lot of amazing businesses that have started off as just a booth at a fair or something like that and have gone on to become a full-fledged business in the area. I wonder, can you give me a bit of information on what would be the best way to keep up with what the Economic Development Department is doing?
Yeah, certainly. So if folks are looking to learn more about who we are and what we do, they can visit us at huroncounty.ca/economic-development, or they can follow along on our social media channels. So you can follow Huron County Economic Development on Facebook or at Huron County EcDev on Instagram. We also talked a lot about our tourism channels, so just want to mention those as well. Ontario'sWestCoast.ca is where you can find all of our tourism-related info, or Ontario's West Coast on social media. And then I just wanted to also throw out that strat plan information again. So if people would like to fill out that public participation survey, they can visit huroncounty.ca/EcDevStratPlan to fill out that survey.
Perfect. Well, thank you both for your time today, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon about some great programs that you guys are running. I look forward to hearing from you again.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick.
Welcome back to another Hyperlocal Weekly Report. Joining me again is Ted Hoffman of the Bluewater Tug-of-War team. Ted, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me again, Nick.
So just for people who might not have seen our first interview, I wonder if you can take me through a little bit about the tournament that you guys went to just recently.
Right. So, yeah, we decided back last winter, early spring, to attend the GEMSB, which is the largest junior international tug-of-war tournament in the world. And it's hosted annually by the 5 countries, which get the name comes from the acronym Germany, England, Netherlands, Switzerland, and Belgium. And this year it was in the Netherlands. And we took 10 of our team, the local Bluewater team, to that tournament and competed for the first time ever. And we were actually the first team from North America to ever attend this tournament. So it's very exciting.
So how did everything go? I heard that you had a little unfortunate timing with the Air Canada strike, and I'm sure that was some extra stress and the tournament itself.
Yeah, for sure. Leading up to it, it's obviously a lot of planning to get, with the athletes and parents and coaches. It was 21 of us that went overseas, all that planning and fundraising, and then all of a sudden Air Canada strike hits, and we're like, uh-oh. So yeah, it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but thankfully, everything got wrapped up, and they went back to work there literally about 3 days before our flight. So yeah, flight was good. Travel was good. We went a few days early because the tournament was on Labor Day and the kids all had to be back to school. So usually we would travel after, but we traveled a little bit before, and we traveled before. So we spent 3 days in Amsterdam with the kids. We did some biking, obviously Netherlands being so known for the bikes. That was quite an adventure, taking 10 kids around Amsterdam for about 4 hours, and did some canal cruises and bus trips to Rotterdam and The Hague. And we also seen a concentration camp, Camp Vaut, and a war memorial cemetery, which actually had 1,300 Canadians. So that was pretty cool. So it was culturally pretty awesome too, aside from the just the event. It was pretty exciting for all that went.
And the event itself, how did that go?
Yeah, so the event itself was awesome. We all the athletes stay in a summer camp. It was in Haino. So there was 11 countries represented and 35 teams. So then the day of the tournament, it's a round robin style. So they switched, set us up into four pools of 9 teams. And we were Pool A, and we ended up, so then you pull every team once, 2 ends. We ended up third in our end, and they took the top 4 from each. So we made it to the round of 16. And from there, we had a tough battle with the team from Switzerland and ended up losing. So we didn't make it to the quarterfinal. So we kind of fell just short. In the back of my mind, that was my goal going in, was to try and make that quarterfinal. We were just short, but the kids pulled really well. And for a first time team entering, we did very well to be ended up, our ranking was 12th out of the 35. So that was quite well, top third.
And as the coach of the team, how does it feel to see your team achieve something like this?
Yeah, it's been kind of that little bit of a distant dream in the back of my head, pulling Tug-of-War for 30 plus years that I have. It was always like, yeah, could we ever get a junior team and get the grassroots started? And I wasn't sure that it would ever become reality, but it did. And it was just awesome to see these kids. And then some of them have been actually training. They're only, 15, 16, 17 years old. Some of them have been training for up to 5 years already. And to see them go over there, like I said, 11 different countries, all the cultures, different languages, get to compete in a team sport like that. It was truly awesome, and they represented our community and our country quite well. So that was awesome.
Is there a standout moment from the trip for you that keeps kind of playing in your head?
I would say the biggest thing is how well we were received. I think they really want to see Canada at these tournaments in the Tug-of-War world, and just we've had when we were there, we had lots of people from different associations coming up to us and just saying how thankful they were to see us, how glad they were to see us. And since the tournament, we've had people reaching out, email and text, and just saying how much good it is to see our Tug-of-War nation represented again on the international stage. And so yeah, that was awesome, and it makes us want to continue and hopefully get another group of kids there in the future and keep the sport alive here in Canada and in our community.
Well, it's definitely cool to hear that you had that international support. And what was the support like from home while you guys were there?
Yeah, it was awesome. It had been like the support was great as far as because we sure needed it just for the fundraising. That was huge, and it was live streamed, and like my wife was there, and she literally, I think she had one phone die. She had like I forget dozens of people texting, trying to get the live stream. It was, and all the parents that were there were saying the same thing. There was, dozens, if not hundreds, of people trying to keep track and watch our results. And it was early with the 6 hour time difference. We started, before 6 a.m. Our time here. So, yeah, it was great. We've been well received, and that's good. I think youth sports right now is something that people really want to get behind. We all know about, the COVID and everything. Youth have had a rough go the last bit, and this team sport is certainly, a great experience and a great thing to get the kids out and social.
Well, it certainly sounds like it was a pretty great experience. Are you thinking about next year heading out again?
Yeah, for sure. We are. We kind of knew, obviously, like I said before, it is an annual event. Next year it goes to Switzerland. Switzerland would be amazing. Switzerland would be beautiful. Tough competition, mind you. The top 3 gold, silver, and bronze actually went to different Swiss teams. But yeah, we've sent it out, and we're going to see, but we're going to gauge it in the next month or so, definitely before Christmas. We want to have a plan in place if we are going to make another run, and in a perfect world, maybe we'd have 2 teams there, because at our training we've had over 20 kids there for the last bunch of years, and we're always looking for more too. It's a great sport, keeps you healthy, active, and hey, you get to travel and see a bit of the world too, so can't go wrong there.
And what's the best way to keep up to date with what you guys are doing?
Yeah, the Youth Bluewater Tug-or-War on Facebook and Instagram would be the best way, and we'll keep posting stuff there, and you can follow us there.
All right. Well, congratulations to you and your team, Ted. That sounds like it was a pretty awesome trip, and I look forward to hearing about possibly going to Switzerland as well.
Yes, thanks, Nick, for sure. Definitely, if we get there, we'll have to do a follow-up next summer, and hopefully we're ramping up, and we can move a little further up the ladder and get close to that someday.
That sounds great. All right. You have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Nick. Take care.
That's it for another episode of the Hyperlocal Weekly Report. As always, thank you for watching, and thank you to Hay Communications for making the show possible.